Guys, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to extend a warm welcome to you all today. Come to Cumbria for our 40th birthday. I know many of you have travelled so far, all the way from all over Scotland, all the way from all over the UK, even Spain, flown over, but also from Largs. It's a long way from over the water to come to Cumbria. I'm sure you're all catching up with many stories and memories from all your times at Cumbria and sharing lots of experiences, etc. that you've had here, but don't share too many because some of the stories are a bit, we'll go there. But it's really quite amazing that 40 years ago, Colin is here, that was actually here 40 years ago, I see Colin, that the Marquess of Bute stood here and opened Scotland's first National Water Sports Centre. And what at that time was quite a major leap of faith for the Scottish Sports Council. The Marquess of Bute donated this land, and he donated it for the nation's advancement of participation in water sports. And I think from that beginning, the centre's gone on from strength to strength over the 40 years of its operation to what you see and experience today. Cumbria, through the investment of Sports Scotland, and many of you in the room today, has certainly contributed to the advancement and participation in water sports over all these years. For example, just last year, for the first time, Cumbria had over 2,500 individuals coming to Cumbria for a Cumbria experience. 350 people went cruising. We trained and upskilled 70 instructors. 150 paddle sports people came on paddle sports courses. We had e-learning modules. We delivered Curriculum for Excellence, Duke of Edinburgh, John Muir-based courses. And then on top of all that, with all the work that the guys did, delivering outreach work throughout Scotland, the UK and worldwide in sea survival, navigation, coach education and events with the Scottish Sailing Institute. So Cumbria in those 40 years has really moved on into all these areas. I think Cumbria really is quite unique because it's a centre where the P1s from Millport come round and you have Olympic sailors. We've got school children, adults, beginners to experts, young instructors to train professionals, clubs to squads, and club support, and even the guys go off to the America's Cup. So Cumbria is quite unique from the participation from the very beginning right through all the different aspects of water sports. That's been delivered at Cumbria or by Cumbria throughout the marine world. I think the strength of Cumbria as well is it safely introduces people to our marine world, so fostering lifelong participation in our sport. And we all, I think, in this room have a passion for the sport that we do on the water. And I think that's what we share with others by coming to come and use Cumbria going forward. But really, Cumbria can't do that alone. And we value the support that many of our guests here today, Sports Scotland, the Trust Board members, Glenmore Lodge, North and East Ayrshire Council, the local councillors, the SP, MP have been visited here today, the Field Study Centre, the Ocean Youth Trust, the Sailing Institute, British and Scottish Sabaqua, Scottish Canoe Association and many more, but also the Royal Yachting Association and Royal Yacht Association Scotland. So I'm very pleased that these organisations have come down and visited us today on our 40th anniversary. And really the centre acknowledges all their support, because we can't do it ourselves, and it's great that these organisations can help support what we do here at Cumbria. I must mention the new Inverclyde that's going up over the way, that amazing £12 million development that's going to introduce a world-class, fully inclusive residential venue for sport in Scotland. And I believe that not only will Inverclyde be world class in the sporting landscape for Scotland, but also be fully inclusive and accessible for disability sport. And that will be the first of its kind in the whole of the UK. I really believe that there's opportunities for Cumbria to link in with that and make the marine world more accessible, more inclusive, more equitable for people to enjoy the sport that we all enjoy by going on the water. So I think there's some fantastic opportunities for Cumbria having the new Inverclyde being built. I think Cumbria, sorry, stop. Only page 5. Getting there. Very good. So, looking forward, guys, I think Sport Scotland is still investing in Cumbria, in its operational investment in facilities, equipment and staff. I would say, though, it really is the staff of Cumbria that bring the centre forward. It's the staff of Cumbria that brings it to life. It really does offer a world-class Cumbria experience. And it's been quite amazing personally to work with all these guys over these years. I don't tell them that at the appraisal, mind you, but working with them over that time to see the passion that they give in all the operations of the centre, that anyone visiting Cumbria has a Cumbria experience that they value and take on into their sailing activity world. I think many of you in the room here have and still have that Cumbria experience with you. And personally, thank you guys at the moment, to thank all the people who have worked here in the past for promoting that personally and on behalf of Sport Scotland. So I think going forward, Cumbria is in a really strong place with the support with all the people in this room, but especially around the Scottish Government's new agenda within the marine industry. The Marine Tourism Strategy for Scotland has just been launched, sorry, no pun, has just been launched recently, and Cumbria is ideally placed to help the Scottish Government deliver their marine strategy. And I think a quote from that marine strategy is that Scotland will be a marine tourism destination of first choice, for high quality, value for money and a memorable customer experience delivered by skilled and passionate people. And when you think about it, that is really Cumbria, isn't it? Going forward. So we all believe here at Cumbria that we can foster participation, encourage personal development, influence in health and well-being, and providing lifelong skills that equip individuals to safely access and enjoy our planet's marine environment. So I think we're all working towards that, what the government's working towards, to make our sport that we really enjoy ourselves open and available to everyone else. So here's to another 40 years. We're getting late at that stage. Right? Cheers, everyone. So I'd like to just take the opportunity to thank all the team that have put this together today. It was a great day on the water, all the guys that have been taking people on the water, all the shoreside things, etc. And for Sodexo for sponsoring the barbecue. And just like this to... Oh, thank you. This wee toast to start, like to toast Cumbria. Now, I'd just like to invite Stephen Park, OBE, Sparky, to us all, the British Sailing Team Olympic Team Manager, who started his marine career here in Largs, but I'm not sure what lifelong skills he learned while he was here. So, on to you.
I learned that it was always good to take up an opportunity when they are offered, rare as they may be, to have a free glass of champagne on Sport Scotland. So I obviously came straight back as soon as I heard there was one on offer. Now I suppose it's a great honour to be invited, John, and thanks for asking me. I think it's interesting, 40 years, I think it was about 36 years ago, where I made my first trip here. The first of many, as part of what then was the introduction of the Scottish Youth Squad programme administered by RY Scotland. John Jimison at the time was running RY Scotland, who was very influential in really driving activity at that time with the other people who were really stalwarts of what's happening here now, making those plays, and other people that are around the room, that were absolutely influential in making sure that they bent the people in Sports Scotland, or Scottish Sports Council was then, before the Scottish Government, like Robin, to get the money that we needed to run this facility and the facility at Inverclyde at the same time. And you know, remembering back then to you know, it's obviously glorious today, but all those winter months that we sat there, you know, looking out at the hail in July, and hoping that we could get out sailing sometime soon, and then thinking that we had to go back on the ferry and get back and forth, and then of course the next thing was the accommodation was put on site, and that really gave that real, you know, opportunity to have that fantastic island adventure, which gives you a really different perspective when you're looking back at the mainland, when you're learning your sport and then learning your career. And for me, of course, it was then coming back and actually working. Well, I thought it was working. Others had told me I wasn't doing so much work, but I thought I was working here as an instructor and as a coach through some summer seasons, and getting to know lots of different people and getting that island perspective. And really, it was here in Cumbria, I suppose, that fired up both my passion for the sport in terms of really excelling and performing and that side of performance, but also about coaching and trying to get kids onto the water and really trying to help them to go all the way through the sailing system such that they could achieve their potential, whether that was just to go out and enjoy a sail or whether it was to go all the way through the Olympic programs. And you know, this week, I've been speaking to one or two different people. I was just thinking about coming up here and reflecting on times gone by and the people whose sailing careers have started here, and people that I still deal with on a day-by-day, week-by-week basis all around the UK, all around the world, who started here. People who are in the youth squad with me who are running sailmakers now, people who are actively involved in the America's Cup programme with Land Rover Ben Ainslie Racing. You know, all the way through the system, and actively involved in running world-class events all around the country, as I know a number of the staff here will be doing with us down at Weymouth and Portland National Sailing Academy next month. And of course, all of that leads to great performance. And of course, we've got 2 Scottish members of the Olympic team, 15 sailors in the Olympic team going to Rio this summer. We've Luke Patience and Charlotte Dobson, 2 of the 15. So Scotland really batting above its average, if you like, in terms of getting Scottish sailors onto the world frame. So hopefully they'll perform excellently this summer, and that will ensure that sailing remains right up in the high priority of Sport Scotland and the Scottish Government. And they'll be able to come back here and see hopefully future investment from the government for Sport Scotland. I'm sure we're all looking forward to the new breakwater that will be, I'm sure, be getting built shortly. It looks like there's some work to be done there. A small amount of investment, I'm sure, will go a long way in that, and also further investment here to really allow us to continue the great work that's gone on in the past, to have that partnership between Inverclyde and Cumbria. So it's good to see so many people. So it's one of those days where you have lots of faces that you recognise and you can't quite remember the names, and then you remember the names, and then you remember the times, and then you remember the stories. So hopefully everyone will have a nice evening, as I've certainly been doing this afternoon, going through that process. And thank each and every one of you for the part you played in Cumbria's 40 years, and particularly those that are here, you know, today, that are the ones who are on the front line out there, getting bums in boats and really making sure that the place is alive and kicking and driving through into the next 40 years. So here's to Cumbria.